Juan, I don't know how I'm gonna do this project, man.
I don't know how to help you, brother.
Man, I mean, I just wish there was an easier way to do this, because I'm just gonna, it's supposed to be educational. I've never been educational, you know me, man.
Yeah? No, you're not.
Man, I just wish there was someone to call.
The specialist, baby!
Why didn't I think of that? Hello! I am the specialist. I am here to tell you about double standards. Most people, they know nothing about double standards. I do. Now before I begin, I must run by you guys a few terms that are gonna help you better understand the presentation. First off, sex. Not the kind the specialist likes. Sex is the biological distinction between male and female. Also, you must know gender. Gender is the personal traits and social positions that members of society attach to being male or female. And last but not least, gender roles. Attitudes and activities that the society links to each sex. Now, I will give you an example of a time I was at the cocktail party of a double standard. So, I get there, and I walk up to my friend Randy, and he's just like, "What did you do last night?" And I was just like, "Man, I slept with like 5 girls. But then, my colleague at work comes up to me and says, "Specialist, I slept with 5 guys last week." And you know what I called her? A slut. Now, a few things that may cause double standards. Culture. Culture is defined as the way of thinking, the ways of acting, and the material object that together form a person's way of life. Now, with the culture how it is today, you can see why double standards are apparent in our culture. Which brings me to my next point, mass media. Mass media is defined as the means for delivering impersonal communications to a vast audience. You watch shows like Gossip Girl, you watch shows like Glee, you watch shows like How I Met Your Mother. They all have their own sense of double standards. Barney Stinson, legendary. The next point I would have to bring up are cohorts. A category of people with something in common, which brings up the next bullet point. Groupthink. The tendency of group members to conform, resulting in a narrow view of some issues. So when I'm talking to my friends and I'm like, "Guys, I slept with 5 girls last night," they tend to think I'm really cool. I want to stay really cool. And next, beliefs. Beliefs are specific ideas that people hold to be true. I believe it is true that I am cool for sleeping with 5 girls. Now, I will explain a few social structures that will help explain double standards. First, I'll define a social structure. A social structure is any reliable, stable pattern of social behavior. Which brings me to the structural functional approach. It sees society as a complex system whose parts work together to promote solidarity and stability. Next, the symbolic interaction approach, which sees society as the product of interactions of individuals. Next, the social conflict approach, which sees society as an arena of inequality that generates conflict and change. Double standards has a lot of inequality in them. And the most important one for double standards is the gender conflict approach, a point of view that focuses on inequality and conflict between men and women. Women say, "I could do this because I'm women." Men say, "I could do this because I'm man." It's the gender conflict approach. So some consequences of double standards is 1. Deviance. Deviance is the recognized violation of cultural norms. So when I'm bragging about the women I've slept with, people may see that and be like, "That's not normal," and they'll think of me bad. And the next, latent functions. Latent functions is the unrecognized and unintended consequences of any social pattern. I may not even know that I'm doing wrong thing, but people do. So now that we know more about these double standards, I have a question to ask you guys, the viewers. Do you do a lot of double standarding? If you do you think it's okay? And what is your favorite double standard? The Specialist out. Let your dreams lead you. I hate to show up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay. I wish that
Justin, what are you doing, brother?
I'll let you in here.
Why are you even crying?
I sadly broke up with it.
Men don't cry, and men don't sing Adele.
Why not?
Men don't do it.
Why?
Men don't do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm just sad.
Men don't do it.
She hooked up with 5 guys in one night.
That chick is a slut.
I know. Your window. Where's my radio?
The more you muffle it, the funnier it sounds. That's all I have.
Not the kind that the Specialist likes. Sex is the biological. Oh really? I slept with 500 guys last year. And I'm like, and the next point I have to make.